Protesters flooded the streets outside the U.S. Embassy in Madrid today, demanding an end to American sanctions that have plunged Cuba into darkness. The demonstrations come as Cuba faces a crippling electricity blackout, with protesters directly linking the power crisis to decades of U.S. economic blockade. Spanish activists joined Cuban expatriates in condemning what they call collective punishment of the Cuban people. The blackouts have left millions without power for days, forcing hospitals to rely on emergency generators and bringing daily life to a standstill. Cuba's electrical grid, already strained by aging infrastructure and fuel shortages, has buckled under the pressure of limited access to replacement parts and technical equipment due to U.S. trade restrictions. The Madrid protest reflects growing international criticism of American policy toward the island nation, with European allies increasingly questioning the effectiveness of sanctions that primarily impact ordinary citizens. As Cuba's energy crisis deepens, diplomatic pressure on Washington to reconsider its approach is likely to intensify. Voice of America staffers have filed a federal lawsuit against Trump administration official Kari Lake, accusing her of forcing pro-Trump propaganda onto the government-funded broadcaster's airwaves. The legal action alleges Lake, who has suffered numerous court defeats in recent months, violated VOA's editorial independence by mandating coverage favorable to the former president. Staff members claim Lake's directives fundamentally compromised the broadcaster's mission to provide objective news to international audiences. The lawsuit details specific instances where editorial decisions were allegedly overruled to promote Trump administration talking points, potentially damaging VOA's credibility with global audiences who rely on it for unbiased American perspectives. Voice of America, established during World War II, operates under a congressional charter requiring editorial independence from political influence. Lake's recent string of legal losses in other matters has emboldened critics who question her fitness for the role overseeing America's international broadcasting operations. This case could set crucial precedents for protecting journalistic integrity within government-funded media organizations as political tensions continue to reshape America's information landscape. British families are dramatically cutting back on leisure activities as economic pressures force difficult choices about discretionary spending. A typical household earning £55,000 annually has slashed leisure spending by £40 per week, with many saying they simply cannot justify expensive outings like £52 family lunches. Official government figures reveal this trend extends across middle-income brackets, traditionally seen as economically stable. The cutbacks affect everything from restaurant visits to entertainment venues, creating a ripple effect throughout the service economy. Families report prioritizing essential expenses like housing, utilities, and groceries while eliminating activities once considered normal parts of family life. The spending reduction reflects broader economic anxiety as inflation continues squeezing household budgets despite modest wage increases. This behavioral shift among middle-income earners signals deeper structural challenges facing the UK economy, as reduced consumer spending threatens businesses already struggling with higher operational costs. The phenomenon mirrors similar patterns emerging across Europe, where families are fundamentally reassessing their relationship with discretionary spending amid persistent economic uncertainty. Iran has categorically denied launching long-range missiles at the strategic Diego Garcia military base, with Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baghai dismissing the allegations as a deliberate false flag operation. The denial comes amid escalating tensions as reports suggested Iranian missiles targeted the joint US-UK facility in the Indian Ocean. Baghai accused unnamed actors of fabricating the attack claims to justify expanded military action against Iran. Diego Garcia serves as a crucial staging ground for American and British operations across the Middle East and Indo-Pacific regions, making any attack on the facility a significant escalation. The base hosts strategic bombers, naval vessels, and intelligence operations vital to Western military presence in the region. Iran's strong denial and false flag accusations suggest Tehran recognizes that confirmed attacks on Diego Garcia would fundamentally alter the conflict's scope, potentially drawing additional allies into direct confrontation. The dispute over what actually occurred at the remote island base highlights the information warfare accompanying physical conflicts, where establishing facts becomes as critical as military strategy in shaping international response. The escalating U.S.-Israeli conflict with Iran is creating severe economic strain across northern India, where residents face spiraling costs for essential resources including food, water, and fuel. Local communities report dramatic price increases that are fundamentally altering daily life and forcing families to make difficult choices about basic necessities. The war's impact on global supply chains and energy markets is particularly acute in regions dependent on Middle Eastern imports and trade routes. Rising fuel costs are cascading through the entire economy, driving up transportation expenses that affect everything from grocery prices to clean water delivery. Indian families already struggling with post-pandemic economic recovery now confront additional pressure from geopolitical conflicts thousands of miles away. The situation demonstrates how regional conflicts increasingly have global consequences, with ordinary citizens bearing the cost of international tensions through their household budgets. As the Iran situation remains volatile, economists warn that continued escalation could push commodity prices even higher, potentially triggering broader social and economic instability across South Asia's most populous regions where millions live on subsistence-level incomes.